Hi, my name is Katie. This is my first YouTube video. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, but I've been too scared, so here I am finally. So this is exciting. Happy to be here. It'll probably be a makeup-based channel, maybe some fashion, maybe some lifestyle, skincare, who knows? We'll see where it takes us. This is the look we're doing today. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start with my Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer, and I'm just going to apply that all over my face. I do have very oily skin, so I try to stick to primers that target oiliness and trying to keep the skin matte throughout the day. And I do have quite a bit of stuff to cover, so I try to find foundation that will be full coverage because I do not like to take a green concealer underneath. So I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques blending sponge, and the foundation I'm using is the Revlon Color Stay for combination and oily skin in the color 240 medium beige. And I'm just going to apply that with my sponge. It's a damp beauty sponge. This is the closest beauty sponge I've found to the Beauty Blender, and it's pretty cheap, so I tend to stick to that instead of a Beauty Blender. Next, we are going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. It is in the color Light Sand, and I'm just going to apply that underneath of my eyes to brighten, and I'm going to take it on my chin and up my nose and on my forehead. Not quite sure why, but I all of a sudden thought it smelled good, so sorry. If you want, you can stop underneath your eyes so it just conceals your dark circles and brightens underneath the eyes, but I prefer to take it all over in those areas. I just find that it brightens my face a little better. And I'm just going to use the other side of my Real Techniques beauty sponge and blend that in. Next, we are going to take a dry Real Techniques beauty sponge and my Airspun loose face powder in a translucent, and I'm going to bake underneath of my eyes with it. So I just take the dry beauty sponge and get it pretty good with the powder and apply that underneath of my eyes pretty thick, just in case when I'm applying my eyeshadow that I don't get fallout, so I can sweep it away. And now I'm going to do my eyebrows, and I am using my e.l.f. brow pencil. I believe it is the color dark brown. I just try to keep my brows as natural as possible, but my brows aren't very thick, so I just fill them in with their natural shape as best as possible. They are two kind of different shapes, so I try to make them so they look similar. Alright, and now I am going to take the spoolie side of my eyebrow pencil and just blend out the pencil that I had just done so it looks a little more natural and less drawn in. Now I'm going to take my crease slash smudge brush from Royal and Langnickel, and I am going to take it with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to just cut underneath of my eyebrow so it looks a little cleaner. Sometimes I will go over the top with this as well, but today they stayed kind of tame, so I'm just going to stick with underneath. I'm going to take my Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsession palette, and I'm going to take it first on this brush that I got from Amazon. It doesn't say the brand on it, so it looks like this, and it is my favorite brush to really do anything with. I'm just going to take that shade, I'm going to apply it through the crease as a transition shade. And this is when I realized that I forgot to prime my eyelids, but that's okay, we will just continue anyway. And so usually I do use my MAC soft ochre paint pot for priming my eyelids, but obviously I forgot that today, so. Now I'm going to take this pink shade and I am going to apply it with the same brush just right over the top of what we just did, just to add a little more color to it. Now I am going to take this darker shade and I am going to apply that to the outer V to just start to deepen it up a little bit and add a little more of that red color. Now I'm going in with this lighter purple shade of the palette and putting that right over the top of that last shade. in the outer V. Now I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics 101 brush and I'm going to blend it out. It's just a nice big fluffy brush. To be quite honest with you, it's not very soft, but I use it anyway. Now I'm going to take this deeper purple shade and further deepen up the outer V. Just give it a little more dimension. Alright, and now that these look more or less the same, I am going to take my BH Cosmetics brush in 103. It's just a nice flat brush to apply like shimmer shades to. And I'm going to take this middle gold shimmery shade and I'm going to apply that to my lid. I'm going to keep it just at the front of my lid and stop probably about midway and blend it out a little bit so it doesn't look like a harsh line. Now that the eyes are done, I am going to take my Real Techniques powder brush. I believe it's called the full face powder brush, and I'm going to pat away my baking, and with that any of the eyeshadow that may have fallen out gets swept away. Now I'm going to take the same translucent Airspun powder and I am going to apply that to the rest of my face. If you are really oily, the best way to apply is to push it into the face and then sweep away the excess. That way it doesn't move your foundation and it gets it set into the skin a little better. And I am going to take that same brush with my NYC bronzer in the color Sunny. And I'm just going to apply that on my cheekbones and up onto my forehead. And now I am going to take my crown sponge, I meant brush, and I am going to just concentrate the same bronzer a little more so it acts as a contour, because I prefer to just skip the step of contouring. Makes it a little easier for me. And I'm going to take just the rest of that translucent powder that was on my damp sponge and carve underneath my contour and wipe the rest away. Now I'm going to take my blush brush by Nanette Lepore and I am going to be applying my Tarte blush in the color Feisty. And instead of applying it on the apples of my cheeks, I keep it right above my contour. That helps your face look a little less round, because if you put it on the apples of your cheeks and you have a round face already, it just draws more attention. Now we're gonna skip back up to the eyebrows, and I'm going to apply my brow gel by Elizabeth Mott. And I just like to use this because it keeps my brows in place and it fills in any of the little areas that it might not be full. Now I'm going to take my Cover FX highlighter in the color Moonlight, and I'm going to take it on my Eco Tools brush. This is a highlighter brush that came in a pack of 2 actually with this brush. But for this small container I prefer the round brush, it just makes application a little easier. I'm just going to put that on my upper cheekbones. I love this highlight so much. It has a nice pink undertone, and it's just beautiful. Now I'm going to take my NYX MAC Matte Finish Setting Spray, and I am going to lock that all in. Now I am going to take my Tarteist mascara, and I'm going to apply that to my upper and my lower lashes. I'm not going to apply a whole lot to the top because I am going to apply false lashes, so we just need a base for that. Alright, and sometimes I do want to go in and brighten up my lower lash line, and so I go in with my white NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil, but I'm not going to do that today. Now I'm going to throw on my lashes. These are going to be the Demi Wispies by Ardell, and I'm putting them on with my Duo Lash Glue. And I'm just going to throw the other one on off camera because I am very slow with putting these on, so I don't want to put you through that again. Alright, now that the eye look is done, we are going to go in with my lip products. This is the Grande Lips Semi Matte liquid lip, and it is in the color Desert Peak. This is my favorite liquid lip by far, probably my favorite lip product in general. It is a slightly plumping matte lipstick, which I really haven't seen. The only ones I've seen that are plumping are always lip gloss, and I really don't like lip gloss, so this is my favorite. Alright, and now this is the final look. Okay, this is the final look. I'm not used to wearing eyelashes, so this is weird. I hope you liked it, and thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, you know, all that stuff. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.